Good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2016 Coastal Chaos Tournament presented by the Rock Coast Rollers of Rockland, Maine. Coastal Chaos 2016 is a WFTDA recognized event, and the upcoming game between the Mass Attack All-Stars and Shore Points All-Stars will be brought to you by New England Derby Report and WFTDA.TV. I am Gretchen. My broadcast partners are Beautiful Banshee and the lovely Jenny. How are you doing, ladies?
Hello.
Hey there. Good to be here, Gretchen.
Oh my gosh, we just had a bracket buster, Banshee, in the first game. Bangor in their first game ever as a WFTDA member has taken down the #1 seed and defending champion here. So your brackets are wide open. This is a 4-5 game. Mass Attack coming in seeded 5, Shore Points at 4.
Absolutely. And a way for Bangor to set off that dynamite, kicking off the tournament in the right way. We are starting off with my home team, Mass Attack All-Stars. I will give you the roster in just a moment. I'd like to point out that we have Mego, number 17, with Shore Point, jamming for her team up against 2787 Dorcas Maximus for Mass Attack.
Mass Attack in the red, Shore Points in the black. We are underway. Like I said, a 4-5 seeding. Anything can happen in a game like this. Mego pushing the front of the pack. She gets the first lead jam of the game.
Absolutely. And Dorcas Maximus just fought her way through, was able to break free. She was swept to the outside early on from Shore Point's defense. Not an easy road to go.
Mego sliding around on the outside, gets all 4, calls off the festivities. And let's go real quickly through those lineups for Shore Points. They are out of Hamilton, New Jersey. Miranda Slambert, Scarlett St. Marie, Mego St. Marie, Lemonade, Lulu to the Barricades, Buns and Roses, Ice 9, JJ Mayday, Choo Choo Trainwreck, Kid Vicious, and Rip Van Atta.
Okay, for the first time up, we have Carnage Patch Kid jamming in red for Mass Attack up against 1979 Kid Vicious for Shore Points. It is Kid Vicious breaking lead for Shore Points. Carnage Patch Kid appears to have picked up a penalty off to the penalty box.
Power jam Shore Points. They're asserting themselves early. We'll see what Mass Attack has in store defensively. Up at the front, it's a takedown.
There's a nice shoulder coming from Malice Paul into 1979. That last line of defense.
Well, Kid Vicious fights her way through. She took a couple of shots, but she does get 5. Doing a pretty good job of killing the penalty, though, is Mass Attack. Here comes Kid Vicious on her second scoring pass.
And Shore Point's really doing a great job of containing the pack by holding Bombshell Shock of Mass Attack to the rear.
Oh, now that was a serious shot by Malice Paul, rolling Shore Points all the way back to the pivot line. Power jam is over. We're going to have a call-off, Banshee.
Yes, and that is a big jam to start things off for Shore Points. We have 12 points on the board in the second jam. To 0 for Mass Attack All-Stars. And I'll introduce you to the skaters of Mass Attack Roller Derby, hailing from Fairhaven, Massachusetts. 0 Troubles Braids, 7 Death by Sugar, 13 Pixie Sticks, 23 Rest in Peace, 27 Havana Heartbreak, who's jamming right now. Up against, let's see, we have 47 Stone Cold Killer, 99 Bombshell Shock, 341 Enraging Grace, she's your captain, 414 Torpedo, 419 Kiltrosity, 519 A Rata Skater, and 1920 Malice Paul.
First lead jammer for Mass Attack. Getting through about half a track back is Lemonade for Shore Points. These will be the first points for Mass Attack, picking up 3.
There we go. And, it's too bad there aren't any skaters out there named Becky, because we all know Lemonade doesn't like Becky with the good hair. So,
Well, Mass Attack so far 2016 is 1-0 in sanctioned competition. Shore Point's 0-1 in 2016. But, hey, they're going to get 3 games in this weekend.
And that's right, Gretchen. This is huge for everyone with their rankings. We have Kiltrosity up against Mego. Kiltrosity meeting that fierce 4-wall of Shore Points. It is Mego just springing through, making it look so easy, taking lead.
Mego, the captain of Shore Point, she's been at it a couple of years. A lot of lateral motion, as you can see right there, scooting through on the inside, picking up 4. Kiltrosity's through.
Yep, Kiltrosity is through, but Mego is right behind her. Make sure to call it off before she can grab any points from Ard.
And that'll do it right now, 16-3 in favor of Shore Points. Again, Shore Points on the number 4 seed coming in. Mass Attack on the number 5. But as we saw in that last game, seeding may not matter so much, Banshee.
It may not. It definitely did not matter in the case of Bangor Roller Derby, even though they were not ranked. That's something to be suspicious of, because you know that they had been prepping for this.
Well, Bangor is up in the north woods of Maine, and I said they had kind of a Manhattan project working up there. An atomic bomb dropped here in Rockland. Mass Attack, meanwhile, on the attack. Dorcas Maximus, lead jammer.
Yes, and a Rataskater taking out Kid Vicious to the outside line. Meanwhile, met with that 3-wall bombshell shock, sweeping Kid Vicious outside.
Well, this is nice defense. Both teams just focusing on defense, letting their jammers work the pack right now. But Mass Attack with lead in the driver's seat.
And they're back to 2 full blocker lines as Death by Sugar and Choo Choo Trainwreck returned to the track.
Okay.
But it appears we have Bombshell Shock to pivot off to the penalty box.
5 more for Mass Attack. Dorcas Maximus looking for her second scoring pass. Kid Vicious still not through on the initial.
Yeah, Troubles Braids, a Rataskater, and Death by Sugar. Formidable wall of 3 right there. I have blocked against that, jammed against it, and it's no joke.
Well, Death by Sugar just deposited Kid Vicious into the infield, and she's going to try it again. Boy, they are extending the pack, Shore Points, about as far as it can be. Finally, Kid Vicious making it through, and that's going to force the call by Dorcas Maximus.
We have a score of 16 points, Shore Points to 12 from Mass Attack. Huge jam for Dorcas Maximus, putting 9 on the board for Mass Attack. We have just shy of 24 minutes remaining in the half.
Just a 4-point game. Teams competing in this weekend's event are working to boost their rankings and qualify for the 2016 International WFTDA playoffs and championships this fall. And I tell you what, wouldn't it be something to see a league like Bangor coming literally out of nowhere? I mean, we don't, this game is a 4-5, and it's crucially important to Shore Points and Mass Attack, but you almost can't overstate what Bangor did in that last game, Banshee.
Oh, absolutely. They have proven that they have arrived at Coastal Chaos 2016 and saying hello to all of you out there at WFTDA.tv.
Yeah, the defending champion is no longer going to we have the corner cam. Hi,
hello,
everyone. The lovely we got the sparkle memo.
Yes,
so
we did.
We are rocking the sparkles this weekend, and we're happy that you've joined us here at Coastal Chaos. I mean, hey, we're taking Mid-Coast Maine worldwide.
Indeed, and that's awesome, because I'm already getting feedback from the folks at home back in Massachusetts, members of Mass Maelstrom Roller Derby, as well as Mass Attack and a few others, giving me shout outs on Facebook, letting me know that they've been listening in. So thanks, guys. We appreciate you tuning in to WFTDA.tv.
Well, how about that for a Mass Attack? Just 2 blockers on the track for the ladies in red. It was enough to spring Kiltrosity. Lead jammer on a scoring run. She's going to shut it down. And, boy, that is a great way to kill a penalty.
And Kill blocks, she jams, she blams. Or as like we like to say around Mard, she is blamorous. And on that jammer line, we've got Carnage Patch Kid facing off against Mego.
Mego, the captain for short points. It's a tie game on 16. One blocker in the penalty box for each team, and that gives some room to move for these jammers. You know they got to like that.
Indeed. Oh, both teams with braced walls just really hitting a little bit of a quagmire to start. But it is Carnage Patch Kid breaking free, taking lead with Mego hot on her heels.
Oh, Mego is in full stalker mode right now. She's going, well, yeah, that's going to do it. She's going to force the call off. And, boy, short points. When you have a skater with that much speed, it's a nice weapon to have.
Oh, absolutely. The power in those long legs and the strides from Mego, it's just amazing. I've had the pleasure of seeing her skate not only here at Coastal Chaos 2016 last year at the very first Coastal Chaos and at Battle of the All-Stars.
Battle of the All-Stars.
With Team New Jersey.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mego has been a consistent performer for Team New Jersey. A lot of great leagues in the state of New Jersey, similar to what we've got going in Maine now, but we'll talk more about that in a second. Back to the action.
We've got Lemonade facing off with the Jammer Star against Havana Heartbreak. Havana Heartbreak was bounced out. It appears that she has received a cutting the track penalty.
Cutting on Havana Heartbreak, and just as soon as Mass Attack tied it up, here's a power jam for short points. Oh, in a dueling cut situation. I think Lemonade thought she had her feet inside, but the referee right on the spot making the call. Now, Lemonade took a couple of points to the box with her.
Indeed. And another thing, too, that the cutting the track penalty was forced by a three-wall of Stone Cold Killer, Torpedo, and Enraging Grace, who are all new to Mass Attack Roller Derby within the last 6 months to a year. So it's pretty great to see actually first showing at a tournament for Stone Cold Killer and Torpedo.
Yeah, and Lemonade now back on the track. Defensive stand there by Scarlett St. Marie, Mego's sister, and she's going to run Havana Heartbreak. And that was look at Havana Heartbreak. I love to see that. That was Scarlett looking for a second shot, and Havana Heartbreak able to dodge that and just take the momentum and propel herself forward.
Oh, absolutely. Havana is wily, and she will do what's needed. If she has to lay a shoulder into someone, she'll make it work.
Now both jammers picking up points. Neither can call it off now. 9 seconds left on the jam clock. Lemonade looking for more now. And Heartbreak making it through. She puts up 4. What's at the back end? Okay. Short points going to be on 27. Mass Attack on 24. Woo.
Just a 3-point game, and that really occurred in this last jam as Short Points picked up 11 and Mass Attack picked up 8. We are around 19 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Dorcas Maximus of Mass Attack facing off against Kid Vicious for Short Points.
And it's a 4-2 pack advantage for Mass Attack. Then Dorcas Maximus is going to take advantage. Quick lead jam call. And Kid Vicious caught behind that 4-wall. Short Points getting some help now. Okay, scoring run now for Dorcas Maximus.
And Mass Attack sending a Radis skater to the penalty box. Didn't quite catch that call, but we'll get clarification.
Malice Paul doing defensive duty on Kid Vicious, knocking her back to turn 2. Dorcas Maximus sliding through untouched. Banshee, she's got 5, and
yes,
we've got a lead change.
Yes, a lead change and then a shoulder to Kid Vicious taking her out. However, that was from Malice Paul, who followed her out of bounds. Able to break free, no pass, no penalty.
Here comes Dorcas Maximus looking for some more, and she's got to be careful. She may want to call. She may have called it a little too late. But the thing was, look at how many blockers Mass Attacks got in the box. She was playing a difficult game there. It's like, do I want the clock to run down and let my teammates come back on the track, or do I want to force close the scoring? And she may have done the right thing, because right now Mass Attack with 3 blockers on the track, Short Points with 4.
Indeed. And sometimes you do have to make that tough choice to stretch it out. We have Killtrocity on the jammer line up against Mego. And I would like to point out, too, I don't think I showed the coaches any love, but we have jam coach for Mass Attack Shock and Roll with bench manager Sixtat.
That's right. And for Short Points, we got BJ and Thirsty doing the bench managing, and nice defensive work by Mass Attack holding off Mego. Mego is through now. Killtrocity on a scoring pass. She's going to call it off. She got 2.
Yes, a very wise choice. Hit and quit. Make that nice and quick. We have about 17 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. 40 points Mass Attack, 31 Short Points.
Again, Mass Attack on the 5 seed, Short Points on the 4. Last year, Mass Attack, well, you know, they had 6 games. They went 2-4. Tough loss to Rock Coast by the score of 188 to 157. We're back to the action.
And that was a big sweeping hit coming from number 21 on the Short Points roster. However, that was to Carnage Patch Kid, thinking she was popping back in, picks up a cutting the track penalty, unfortunately. So that leaves JJ, Mayday, and Short Points with the power jam.
Yep, and on the defensive end, trying to kill it up front. Who do we have for Mass Attack?
That's Enraging Grace. She was a transfer from New Hampshire Roller Derby. We have her working with Torpedo.
Oh, the ladies in red are just taking this penalty and putting it in their back pocket, Banshee.
Yes, and also out there, A-Rada Skater and Malice Paul.
JJ Mayday, you know, looking maybe to pass the star, but their pivot, Miranda Slambert, in the back. The power jam is over. Here comes Carnage Patch Kid. JJ Mayday finally getting through. She is leading. She's going to call it off. Smart call.
Very smart. And it's evident, you know, just in the first 11 jams of the game, just how evenly matched these teams are. There's just such a great level of skill here at Coastal Chaos 2016.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have some great games all weekend long, as evidenced by game number 1. We got 5-on-5 now. Mego jamming 4 Short Points, and Havana Heartbreak wearing the star for Mass Attack.
And Havana now is a 2-year vet with Mass Attack. So it's great to see her out there representing at this tournament. She is fighting a fierce 4-wall of Short Points.
Oh, Mego.
Yeah.
I don't know how she stayed inside the track. She did.
Yeah.
You saw it on the screen. Lead jammer in about half a track back. Here comes Havana Heartbreak. Mego, untouched, found an outside line. She picks up 4, and she wants more.
We have plenty of speed out there in the pack, trying to split things up. Mass Attack doing what they can. However, they have to regroup as Mego just slides right by on that inside line.
3-on-3 in the pack. Mego says, I'm going to take a little more. She looks at BJ. BJ says, well, think about it. That will be the call. And Mego getting it done for Short Points, narrowing the gap to just 5.
All right, number 25, Lemonade, facing off against Dorcas Maximus.
3 blockers on the track for each team. And it seems like Short Points likes that start line. They are hugging close to it so far when they get the chance. Of course, they do have the bench position right next to the start line. Dorcas Maximus finds a way, though.
Yeah, despite the attempts to pull the off-the-line catch, Dorcas uses those former hockey skating skills in her jamming to narrowly escape them and duck around the side.
Ooh, nice darting move there. That's a 4-point hit and quit. Mass going to add to their lead right now, 48-40, 13:38 left. Don't forget, buy your tickets, buy your plane tickets if you're going to the Division II playoffs this year, August 19th through 21st and August 26th, 28th. We're going to be in Wichita, Kansas, and Lansing, Michigan. D2, always a good time.
Absolutely. And don't forget Division I playoffs. We'll have more on those later. But back on the track, it appears we have a star stash from Kiltrosity of Mass Attack while Mego is out there snagging lead. Let's see if this turns into a pass or if it remains a stash.
Well, so far it is still stashed as Mego hits that 3-wall up front. Mego on a scoring pass. Mass Attack with a little bit of a hiccup right now. Mego puts up 5, looking for more. Okay, Kiltrosity holds on to the star. She is through. Mego hitting the pack now for more. Mass Attack just with 2 blockers out front. Mego, that's another 4. Kiltrosity on a scoring pass now. Mego is so quick.
Indeed. Just absolutely impeccable maneuvering around her opposing blockers. It's amazing to watch. It's really a treat.
She picks up 5 more, and we have another lead change right now, 54-52 in favor of Shore Points as ladies in red start going to the penalty box 2 at a time. That's 4 more for Mego. Mego making a difference.
Absolutely. I think OM Jin had a few things to say as Mego flexes those muscles on her way off the track.
I was just going to say she has a lot of fancy footwork.
Woo, isn't that
Indeed.
the case, Jen?
Yeah.
All of those fancy feet. And here's, I'm trying to tell if we, no, it's not a timeout. Shockey is just in the infield, so
Well, you know,
don't mind her.
coaches can do that.
Indeed.
And, you know, you like to see a coach getting involved. I always,
Most definitely.
you know, that ongoing rapport, for lack of a better word. You know, we're not going to say harassment or haranguing. It's a rapport
I
that
like
you
that.
establish.
Haranguing. Your extensive vocabulary dazzles Gretchen. And no one else dazzles Carnage Patch Kid. She picks up lead jammer for Mass Attack. And we have Lemonade out there up against her.
Well, and Mass Attack, you know, the difference so far right now, Mass Attack with the methodical, get it done, get lead, get the points. Shore Points with the big jams a la Mego. And,
Yes.
you know, we're at a 58-55 score right now, but both teams getting it done in very different ways.
Oh, absolutely. And I know specifically because of my ties to Mass Attack that there has been a lot of work done in the off season from last winter on to really fine-tune their strategy. So it's nice to see it materialize.
Well, discipline is so important. Here comes Havana Heartbreak. Lead jammer now for Mass Attack. Half a track advantage over JJ Mayday. Right now, the penalty stick is hitting Shore Points pretty hard. They just have 2 skaters on the track blocking.
Yeah, Pixie Sticks with Mass Attack at the front, really driving the pace, getting her line to regroup and try and hold that pack in the back.
Well, I have Anna Heartbreaker doing what she needed to do, picking up all 4, and that's going to be another lead change, Banshee.
Absolutely. That lead change brings Mass Attack to 59 points, to Shore Points 58. 9 minutes, 44 seconds remain in the first half.
Well, what would you expect from a 4 and a 5? Again, you know, all the teams here at Coastal Chaos 2016 are going to get 3 sanctioned games, which is awesome, but only the winners on today and the first game tomorrow move towards that championship round. So this is a huge game for both teams.
Oh, absolutely. And the great thing about Coastal Chaos 2016 is that in addition to the championship bracket, we do have the consolation bracket. So it's great because there are some tournaments that have had elimination, single elimination. So it's really great. I do believe this is the first tournament for Mass Attack first sanctioned tournament for them to participate in. So this is a big deal for the All-Stars as a team.
And we've got a 1-point game. My goodness. OM Jen, how are you doing over there? Do we have any folks watching at home? They don't want to see me. I know that.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Of course they want to see you, Gretchen.
Watching on their phones. That's the great thing about WFTDA.tv and the Northeastern Roller Derby Report. Hey, you can see us anywhere.
It's technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technology is amazing.
It really is.
And you know what else is amazing? WFTDA.tv. My fresh meat from Mass Attack are watching. So, hey, guys, Wolfpack, what's going on? Back to the track. Make sure you watch your derby. We have Mego up against Dorcas Maximus, but Dorcas Maximus has lead, narrowly escaping Mego, hot on her heels.
Well, this is going to be a dicey move right now. Mego trying to take advantage. She gives a little bump. Mego's going to pick up 1 point.
1 point. However, that bump was from Death by Sugar right on the apex. Yeah.
That was pure speed to get
Absolutely.
1 point out of that situation. Dorcas Maximus calling it off, and I'm sure she thought she was calling it off in plenty of time, but Mego just jumped it into 6th or 7th gear.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Shore Point said Lego my Mego because she's lightning fast, picked up that one right on the apex. It's amazing. Lemonade and Kiltrosity facing off once again. Great to see some of this jammer rotation start to pan out.
Yeah, Kiltrosity looking for that outside line, and Shore Point's really doing a nice job shutting it off. Defensive jam so far.
The braced four wall in front really holding back Kiltrosity. However, she picks up a cutting the track penalty, I believe.
That is correct, Banshee. This puts Lemonade in front. Lead jam, 4-on-4 in the pack. Now we're going to see what kind of offense Shore Points engages. They are definitely going to send in Scarlett St. Marie, trying to knock things around, but boy, I tell you what, Mass Attack doing a good job reacting.
Their pack has been incredibly responsive. Let's see how they keep it together. Stone Cold Killer with a shoulder to Lemonade, and Pixie Sticks along with Bombshell Shock really working as a trio of terror.
Lemonade takes the blows, but it pays off. She gets 5. The power jam is over. Kiltrosity rounding around the pack. Oh, and a little contact with Lemonade.
Like I said about Kill, she blocks, she jams, she blams. She's not afraid of a little jammer-on-jammer aggression.
Yeah, she likes that outside line, but doing a nice job again. Ice 9 for Shore Points, holding her off. Lemonade. Now with this is a 9-point jam for her. Again, Shore Points with the big point scoring jams. We'll see how this shakes out with 7 minutes left in this first period.
Absolutely lots of edge of your seat moves happening in this game. That first game, Bangor and Granite State, tough act to follow, but this is shaping up to be just as exciting.
Well, 4 points for Lemonade on that last one, 3 points. You got to give Kiltrosity a world of proper respect for fighting so hard on that jam. She goes to the box, she gets knocked around, she ends up with 3 points. Those 3 points, every point's going to be important in a game like this.
Yeah, and Kiltrosity is absolutely tenacious. I've had the pleasure of skating with her since 2011, and it's just amazing to see the leaps and bounds she has come from that humble beginning.
Okay, 5-on-5 again, and it looks like Mass Attack might have solved Mego for the time being. Carnage Patch Kid! Oh, my goodness!
Big hit from number 21.
Shore Points saying, Carnage Patch Kid, you're going to get lead, but you're going to pay for it.
It's the whole Gandalf, you shall not pass.
Well, Mego sliding around on the outside. Now she gets around in Raging Grace, but Carnage Patch Kid on a scoring pass. She's got to think about this. Mego is in the engagement zone, but it is a 4-point win for Mass Attack.
And a big smile on Carnage Patch Kid's face as she high-fives Bo Tiny coming off the track.
Well, she earned that one.
Absolutely. I mean, she saw Mego coming. Quick call, very smart.
Okay, 5:19 left in this first period. It's 6-point game on the line for short points. JJ Mayday, Havana Heartbreak, wearing the star for Mass Attack.
Yes, and Gretchen, on the first game call, I was on broadcast with NJ, and his home state is New Jersey, and so Short Points is his team, and Mass is mine. So at the half, we're going to have a little verbal sparring.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you both have a
We
lot
will.
of, you've got a lot of ammunition because
Yes.
both teams have really taken some shots so far.
Absolutely.
Both teams looking. Oh, and we have a cutting the track penalty on JJ Mayday. Havana Heartbreak, Power Jam, Mass Attack. Mass Attack holding back right now, forcing the action is Havana Heartbreak, and she's able to slide underneath. She slides underneath Scarlet, and wow, that's a 5-point pass.
Yeah.
We're going to have another lead change, I'm afraid, Banshee.
Yeah, and it's just a little use of passive offense on that first pass through, but Vanna is swept to the outside by Short Points defense, trying to work her way back before JJ Mayday is released, but JJ Mayday is back on the track. Power Jam no more.
Power Jam over. Nice work by Havana Heartbreak, though. She took a shot to the shoulder in between turns 1 and 2, and again, was able to use that power in her favor and get past the Short Points blocker. Now she's got one to beat. It's Scarlet, and she's able to do it. Another 4 points. Mass Attack coming back strong.
Absolutely. So with that lead change, again, 80 points currently for Mass Attack, 76 for Short Points. We'll see how it shakes out at the end of Jam. But very careful choices being made by the two lines of blockers.
Well, yeah, you got to watch out right now. That's going to be another 4 for Havana Heartbreak. Mayday into the pack now. 4 seconds left on the jam clock. Mass Attack trying to hold off Mayday. I think they're going to get it done. Mass Attack has 84. We'll see. No, 4 more. 4 more. It is a tie game, folks.
Oh,
This is pretty awesome.
this is amazing, OMG, right?
Oh, hey. Well, what do you expect? It's a 4 versus 5. Both teams with similar records, both teams with similar rankings, and both teams with great talent. I mean, they play the game much differently, but they both play it really well, and this is very nice to see.
This holds true to the WFTDA tournament program, recognizing and supporting high-quality WFTDA member-hosted tournaments. So this level of play, it's what you're going to see all weekend, so make sure you stay tuned.
Well, and it is Mego out in front. You can only keep her down so long. Oh, but look at that shot. That is Mego putting up 4. Dorcas Maximus trying to slide through. She's completing her initial. Mego, well, when you've got that kind of speed and you've got those kinds of moves, it must be hard to call off a jam.
Oh, absolutely, because you have to be smart. You can't just rely upon skill and power, because granted, it's useful.
Always looking for a little more.
But strategy.
Yeah,
Play
yeah.
it smart.
Yep, and Short Points on that 8-point jam from Outbreak. Mego is going to take a 4-point lead. Mass Attack Carnage Patch Kid to the line against Lemonade for Short Points. It's a 4-3 pack advantage for Short Points.
Yes, that is in Raging Grace, the pivot for Mass Attack, sitting in the penalty box. I didn't catch the call at Jam's end, but she will be taking a brief rest in the penalty box, but not to worry, she'll be back. A little bit of a pile up on the track as Lemonade hits the back, but no call on her. It is Carnage Patch Kid picking up lead. It appears
Boy,
to Rest in Peace picks up a penalty.
Lemonade having a tough time with this Mass Attack defense. Oh, she's able to get through now. Oh, and that Pixie Sticks was called off. Couldn't quite engage. Now this is one of those situations for Carnage Patch Kid. She's got 4, but blocker in the penalty box. she's going to call it off. A couple more ladies in red joined their teammates right before she did. It's 92-92.
I know. I'm totally freaking out right now. I'm not
really
going to lie.
unbelievable.
Right? Isn't it amazing?
really is.
OMG, 25
OMG.
seconds left right
That's
now.
fantastic derby right there.
Oh,
Yes. As we were saying earlier, because when Jenny told us what her derby name is and we're actually using it,
I know,
I just
it's
went,
weird.
O-M, Jen.
Yeah,
Here
exactly.
we
Look
go.
at that track.
Exactly.
JJ Mayday wearing the star for Shore Points. First jam of the day for Malice Paul. And Malice Paul gets some lightning in the bottles. Lead jammer for Mass Attack. Period clock is gone. We could take a tie game into halftime. It's hard to say right now. Shore Points looking for the front of the pack. Oh, Malice Paul is going to call it off. She gets one. She gets one before she gets that call off. And so Mass Attack in the red is going to take a 1-point lead into halftime.
Oh my goodness, we can't even contain ourselves. We can't even, Gretchen. It has been an exciting first half of Mass Attack All-Stars taking on Shore Points All-Stars. 93 points Mass Attack, 92 Shore Points. Jen, what do you have for us going into halftime?
Oh my goodness. that's all.
Well, we're having as good a time as we are. Please come back in 14 minutes for the exciting conclusion of this one.
Yeah.
This is Gretchen the Axe.
And this is Beautiful Banshee. We'll be back shortly.
Okay, Jenny, tell us when. All right. I'm comfortable whenever. We got a lot to talk about. Just about the game. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm ready. You ready, Banshee?
I am ready.
Oh my, we are back here at 2016 Coastal Chaos in Rockland, Maine, and we got a barn burner. Another one.
We thought that Worcester Roller Derby against Bay State Brawlers Roller Derby last year, coming down to the 1-point game with all of the lead changes, was the penultimate of excitement. No, we have been proven wrong today, first by Bangor Roller Derby and Granite State Roller Derby, and now by Mass Attack Roller Derby and Shore Points.
Well, coming in at the 4 seed, Shore Points with 92. Coming in at the 5 seed, Mass Attack with 93. And it has been nip and tuck the whole way. Again, we were saying that Shore Points getting it done a little differently.
Yeah.
Mass Attack with the surgical 4-point here, call it off strategy. Shore Points with the big jams, but both teams seem very comfortable playing their style.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what's so great about bringing everyone together at this kind of tournament for the WFTDA. Basically, you see all of the unique styles. So some may be more reliant upon jammer finesse. Others may be more suited to utilize their blockers in many different ways. So, as Shock and Roll with Mass Attack likes to say, she has the skaters do a lot of technical medleys. Well, I think you see the technical medley on the track.
Well, it is a medley-licious game so far. Shore Points, if they have a silver lining right now, it is the penalty situation. For the most part, they are clean. Nobody in particular trouble. Scarlet St. Marie, however, does have 3. Choo Choo Trainwreck has 3. On the other hand, for Mass Attack, couple skaters with 4. Death by Sugar and Bombshell Shock, both going to have to think about it a little bit in this second half. And the captain for Mass Attack, Enraging Grace, with 3 penalties. Other than that, they're in good shape too.
Excellent. And I know that we have the Mass Attack fan base watching at home. I received some feedback from Android and a couple of the All-Stars who could not make it this weekend. I believe Ginger Ninja and Pepper Machete are watching at home, so hello there, along with all of you out there in WFTDA.TV land, as well as tuning in on New England Derby Reports live stream.
It is the place to be, no doubt about it. Outbreak Mego wearing the star for Shore Points. Dorcas Maximus for Mass Attack. We are underway, second period.
Yes, and Dorcas is fighting out against that Shore Point defense. Manages to get through on that inside line, being all sneaky, making it look easy. Grabs lead.
That was not easy. The majority of her body was outside the track, but most importantly, her skate was inside, and that's a 5-point pass to start the second period.
Absolutely, and Bombshell Shock, Kiltrosity, and Malice Paul really doing a number to run the clock and hold Mego. She has been released, but Dorcas manages to call it in time to prevent any points for Shore Points.
Big 9-point jam to start off the second period. If you are just beginning to watch this wonderful game, Mass Attack in the red, Shore Points in the black. Shore Points sending Lemonade to the jam line now against Carnage Patch Kid. Both of these jammers saw a lot of action in the first period, and Mass Attack has a 4-3 pack advantage.
Indeed. And just a quick update on the score. Mass Attack has broken the century mark, 102-92, that 10-point lead with 28 minutes, 40 seconds remaining.
And here comes roaring back Shore Points. Lemonade lead jammer. Carnage Patch Kid with some ground to make up. And nice job by the captain, Enraging Gracie, trying to get to the front of the pack, but that's 4 for Lemonade. Lemonade wants more. She's not going to call this right now. Carnage Patch Kid might make her pay for it as she looks inside, but she's bumped out now by the Shore Points defense.
Yeah, the Shore Points defense really stepping it up, but Carnage manages to get past them just once so far, putting 4 up on the board.
Lemonade now on her second scoring pass, and if you don't get that big jam, you have to start thinking about it. Nice tip out there by Shore Points. Up at the front, Lemonade going to call it off. 4 more, and we're looking for, that's 4 more for Shore Points. We're looking for the jam referee. It's Admiral Mayhem for Mass Attack. She says 2 for Mass Attack.
Yes, and that was an 8-6 jam in favor of Shore Points.
And right now we have an empty penalty box, which
That's always nice.
Yes, it does, especially as a game like this proceeds into the late going. Both teams are going to have to watch those penalties.
And that is JJ Mayday and Havana Heartbreak facing off. We got a little bit of hitty action from A-Rad Skater trying to take JJ Mayday to the outside, but manages to bounce right back in because she went out.
It's a power jam, Shore Points. It's a cutting the track penalty called on Havana Heartbreak. Shore Points wants to make this thing work. And a low block is going to be called on JJ Mayday. Okay, excuse me. The excitement has got me choking right now.
That's all right.
Nancy.
You're verklempt. You're verklempt, like Linda Richmond on Coffee Talk on SNL. Not to worry. We've got you covered, and it is Havana Heartbreak diving, dipping, and dodging her way through that pack. No wrenches being thrown, thankfully.
Power jam, Mass Attack. There's 54 seconds left on the jam clock. Plenty of time for more action. But, boy, Havana Heartbreak getting back to the pack very quickly.
Yes, Vanna has some really great speedy feet, just some great footwork skills. So it's nice to see that on display today.
Well, and Mass Attack able to play passive right now as Havana Heartbreak is going to extend this lead right now for Mass Attack. The Power Jam is over. Mayday back on the track. Mayday on a scoring pass of her own. Well, I have misspoken. Mayday has now completed her initial.
Indeed. And pack picking up a little bit of speed. Should be interesting to see. Oh, and Vanna gets by on that inside line, managing to evade Shore Point's defense.
All of a sudden, it's Mass Attack with the big jam Banshee.
Yeah.
Two put on the back end by Mayday. Those may be important later on, but we have an official review being called for. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, you know now. We are international. WFTDA playoffs are going to take place around all of Canada and the United States. Division 1 playoffs taking place September 2nd through 4th in Montreal, Quebec. And boy, if you've never been to Montreal for roller derby, you want to go.
I have not, and I should, so perhaps I'll add that to my itinerary this year.
Yeah, and on September 16th through 18th in Vancouver, BC, hosted by the Terminal City Roller Girls. That will be the third D1 playoff event this year.
So you get to see the other side of Canada.
Oh, it's wonderful. Now, Montreal, of course, Montreal Roller Girls, they were the first Canadian team to play a sanctioned WFTDA game in the United States of America.
Huh.
Okay. And I'll give you a, we'll throw this out to our home audience maybe, and, just for your edification, give us a text, give us a call, or, a shout out. Who did Montreal play that first U.S. v. Canada sanctioned game against?
Yes. So.
Okay. It was 2009. I will say that much.
Okay, well, hit us up on the New England Derby Report feed. Ginny, or OM Gin, will be sure to let us know who comes back with an answer on that. And also, if you would like, while you are participating in viewing the broadcast and you'd like to tag us on social media, you make sure on Twitter our handle is @WFTDA, same on Instagram, and also on Facebook, facebook.com/WFTDA. And if you care to go to the website, WFTDA.com, and clearly if you're watching us, you're likely on WFTDA TV. So thanks for joining us again. We'll be getting back to the remaining 25 minutes of Mass Attack Roller Derby versus Short Points Roller Derby.
Mass Attack asking for this official review, a 25-point lead right now. We're going to get clarification from our alternate ref, Peaches, in just a second as to what specifically Mass Attack is challenging.
Okay. And don't forget, you can go on to the New England Derby Report and take their survey. I believe it's posted on Facebook. Is that right?
It is. The link is on Facebook.
The link's on Facebook. And it's a Survey Monkey to vote for your fan favorite skater as well as your favorite pink flamingo. I'm sorry, fantastic flamingo, meaning your favorite non-skating official. And then we also have the Raging Zebra Award. So you want to make sure that you put in your vote. Go to the Facebook page for New England Derby Report, and you can click on that link and get your votes in. We'll make sure to let you know who the winners are, I believe, sometime on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Sunday during the last game.
I tell you what, Banshee, if you don't mind, I'm going to try to explain this official review situation before it escapes me. Mass Attack asking for a review on the Short Points jammer hitting the penalty box hard. Problem was that an extra 13 seconds were added on the jammer turnaround, so the hot entry into the penalty box had already been penalized. As a result, Mass Attack, the review is denied, and they will lose that review now in the second period. We're back to the live action. Killtrocity for Mass Attack versus Mego for Short Points. And Killtrocity is called off for a forearm. Mego's still not through, though.
Oh, no. And, you know, the Mass Attack defense doing their part to hold back. That is Enraging Grace, also known as Gracie, up front with Bombshell Shock. But Mego manages to break free, snagging lead. Oh, we will see what happens here. Those penalties can be debilitating.
Well, and Mego so explosive in so many ways she can hurt you, but I'm got a feeling that Mass Attack talked about how to stop her at the period, and they have done a fairly good job so far, but that's just the speed and the lateral mobility and the vision of Outbreak Mego. She can score a lot in a short period of time.
Absolutely. She's the slippery one, tough to catch for sure, and that's just because of how lightning fast those feet are. Okay,
she is going to call it off as the power jam expires. Nothing on the back end for that one. And cutting into that lead now, it's 15-point gap. Mass Attack on top, 127 to 112.
And at Jam's End, it appears that there was a multiplayer block call on Captain Enraging Grace for Mass Attack. So she's taking a little time out in the penalty box next to Killtrocity. So Short Points will begin with the power start. I do believe that is number 25, Lemonade.
Lemonade, 4-3 pack advantage, and Short Points is going to let Lemonade carry it by herself. And Lemonade just stands up. Short Points blocker Mass Attack's blocker didn't see who that was. Scoring pass now for Lemonade.
Sweetheart and packs a punch. You got to watch out for her.
Well, no surprise the Short Points was going to make a run here in the second period, Banshee. Lemonade makes it a 10-point game. The penalty box is emptying out now for Mass Attack. Lemonade going to try. Oh, and Malice Paul, nice deposit inside. Malice Paul going to take Lemonade as far back as she can. The star has been stashed. Killtrocity has it in her hand, but both jammers right now facing the teeth of the respective defenses.
Indeed, it was Choo Choo Trainwreck sending Killtrocity to the outside and cycling her to the back of the pack. And initially with that big push and hit from Malice Paul earlier, that was with a little nudge from Pixie Sticks.
Okay, star stash pays off. Killtrocity through the pack. Lemonade with 5. And Shore Points continues to like to try to push the envelope. Lemonade going to call that one off from her back, and she called it off in time. Nothing on the back end for Kiltrosity. It's a 5-point game.
Indeed, and that was a huge hit coming from Bombshell Shock with the assist from Pixie Sticks, taking Lemonade to the outside, landing flat on her back. I'm glad to see her recover just fine. But 127 to 122, still in favor of Mass Attack, but we know that could change any moment. 21 and a half minutes remain.
Well, the camera work for Nerd Derby is wonderful stuff, but if you can't see the floor surface the way we feel it when we walk on it, it is concrete and then some. Back to the action. Dorcas Maximus, lead jammer for Mass Attack.
And some real fluid movement and finagling from Bombshell Shock. She went from blocking with her hip to blocking with her shoulder, completely underneath JJ Mayday, sending her to the outside. That was impressive.
JJ Mayday having a tough time with this Mass Attack defense. 5 up for Dorcas Maximus. 10-point game right now. Now JJ Mayday puts it on. She's through.
It's so exciting. I can't. Actually, something else really awesome, Gretchen. One of the other teams that are here at the tournament, Bay State Brawlers, they'll be playing in the morning, I believe, against New Hampshire Roller Derby. I got word that they are watching right now. They're scoping out their competition while they have a team dinner. So, hey there, Bay State Brawlers.
How are you? Good to have you here with us. No place I would rather be.
I know.
I tell you right now, Carnage Patch Kid ready to go for Mass Attack. It is Mego wearing the star for Shore Points. It's 4-3 pack advantage in favor of Mass Attack.
Yes, and that is Choo Choo Trainwreck, who's warming up the box just for a few seconds. It is Mego just slicing through the pack.
Oh, powering through. But Carnage Patch Kid, that's the thing. When you're going against a jammer like Mego, as long as you can get through, are you going to get lead a lot? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But getting through is so important, and that's a 4-2 jam right now. Carnage Patch Kid picking up 2 on the back end.
Indeed, and you could see in response to Mego's forceful run through the pack that Carnage took the moment to focus and take a controlled approach before emerging. So very wise choice on her behalf. It is Havana Heartbreak facing off against Lemonade, wearing their respective jammer stars. And I believe, Gretchen, we have cheerleaders in the house. Never dull.
3-on-3 in the pack right now. Here comes Choo Choo Trainwreck out of the penalty box for Shore Points. They're going to need her as lead jammer goes to Havana Heartbreak. Lemonade still trying to solve that 3-wall up front. Lemonade now going against the captain for Mass Attack, and the two of them end up on the ground. And Havana Heartbreak says, I don't really mind. I'll take those 5 points.
She said, don't mind if I do. I'll step around that.
Yeah, those are 5 points that she did not get hit while scoring, and she's got to be happy about that. Okay, Lemonade through the pack now. Havana Heartbreak gets 4 more. 4 more as Admiral Mayhem hides her thumb, and that's a big 9-point jam for Mass Attack. 18-15 left. It's a 20-point game.
Indeed, and as you mentioned, that was a 0-point jam for Shore Points, and that was signaled by Wifo. She's actually the apprentice head referee.
Yeah, and of course all these teams are battling for the rankings to qualify for Division II or Division I WFTDA playoff action. The playoffs seeding day is July 15th.
Yes, mark those calendars so you can see exactly how people place. It is Malice Paul wearing the jammer star for Mass Attack up against Mego, who broke free, snagged the lead, and it appears we have a star stash in progress.
Well, Miranda Slambert bumped Malice Paul outside. The star has been passed back and forth. Kiltrosity had it for a second, it looked like, but Malice Paul has it again, and she will put it on her helmet. Meanwhile, Mego, on a second scoring pass, puts up 4. And she will call it off.
Wow.
16-point game.
Sometimes they're just, yeah.
Well, both of these teams have the
It's
ability
incredible.
to play at about 3 different paces. They have the grind out defense to really be able to lock down a jammer, but they've got the jammers to force the defense to speed up.
Indeed.
And that's one of the reasons why this is such an exciting game.
Yes, and speaking of exciting, for the first time jamming in this game, we have Rip Van Atta, 5-1-5-0, up against Dorcas Maximus, and Dorcas takes lead with that nod coming around the turn.
Rip Van Atta in hot pursuit, and she's getting her feet under her. This floor is, I haven't seen many problems with the skaters getting used to it, but Rip Van Atta had a little bit of a wobble there getting through. And did she get anything? No.
No.
3 more. 3 more for Mass Tech's 19-point game. Ladies in red, of course, Mass Attack from Taunton, Massachusetts. And Shore Points in black from Hamilton, New Jersey.
And it appears that Bombshell Shock is on penalty number 6 right now. I think there may have been a little confusion on the bench to see if she was on 7 because they were about to have someone else sit. Back to the track, though, Mego, in her normal fashion, picking up lead, making sure she steps over everyone in a most graceful and wonderful way.
Look at that move that Mego just put on. Here comes Carnage Patch Kid, though. Again, you're getting through as a jammer. You're busting the pack, picking up 4. Mego with the inside out. Now she's going to try to lap Carnage Patch Kid.
No, that's the thing about Carnage. She'll go nice and fast, but then if needed, she will slow it down to make sure their focus is there.
Very solid. Oh, but she is called off now. I'm looking for it's a forearm penalty called on Carnage Patch Kid. Mego, this time, sometimes you roll the dice when you get your 4 and you don't call it off. This time it's paying off in spades. That's 5 for Mego, and there's 52 seconds left on the jam clock. Plenty of opportunity for Shore Points to cut into this lead, maybe take the lead.
And a big hit from Malice Paul driving Mego to the outside, forcing the call.
Mego is going to call it off. She puts up 3 more, and that's going to bring these teams to within 1 of each other.
We are at 14 minutes, 12 seconds, and it is a 1-point game. 152 Mass Attack, 151 Shore Points. That was a 21-3 jam in favor of Shore Points.
Oh, my goodness. 16 minutes have gone by in this second period, and there's really been no change in the score. Both of these teams just duking it out. Again, a 4-5 game. That tells you the parity of the rankings. It tells you that the seeding was done properly based upon WFTDA rankings. Now, the rankings have changed. There have been a couple of rankings postings since the tournament was seeded, but we are in a dead heat.
These two teams are still very close in the rankings. I believe when I checked earlier, we have a 5-spot spread between Mass Attack and Shore Points.
Sure.
So, again, just very close. So don't act like you're not impressed.
Shore Points asking for the official review right now. We'll have more about that for you in just a second. The WFTDA's mission is to promote and foster the sport of women's flat track roller derby worldwide by facilitating the development of athletic ability, sportswomanship, and goodwill among member leagues. And what better example of that is there than a tournament like Coastal Chaos 2016?
Absolutely. Being here, having Rock Coast Rollers right here in Rockport, Maine host us, it's just a wonderful event. And the fact that their second year of putting this tournament on, the fact that it is WFTDA recognized, this is fantastic. It's a huge achievement, right?
It is. It's a big deal. I was talking with Mim, the outgoing president of Rock Coast last night. And I said, you really have some ambitious members of your league. And she said, yes, we do.
Yes. Rock Coast Rollers are doing big things, so watch out, world.
Oh, we're glad that you are here. Again, the official review is being deliberated on right now. Peaches is coming over right now with a clipboard, and you know what happens when a man has a clipboard.
Oh, he has something to say. We will have details for you in just a moment, not to worry. But this is all sorts of fun and all sorts of great for the teams involved because, again, they are building their international rankings. Also, it's great because it allows them to do so in a short period of time. This is the first WFTDA sanctioned tournament that Mass Attack has participated in. This is probably second or third for short points. What do we have, Gretchen?
Well, we have 2 teams without an official review, with 14:01 to play, essentially. Okay. Short Points was hoping to challenge Kiltrosity being released from the penalty box at the end of that jam, looking to try to appeal the timing of the call-off by Outbreak Mego, and that's not really a appealable call. Plus, the officials looked at it and decided that the release took place in a timely fashion. So, again, both teams have used their official review, as it should be. Neither one of them is going to have it. As we go into the last 14 minutes, we got Kiltrosity on the line for Mass Attack. Lemonade for Short Points. Short Points is going to start this one with a 4-3 pack advantage.
Yes. And we're off. I feel it appropriate considering the Kentucky Derby is this weekend.
I don't have my hat yet. I need to get a hat.
Gretchen, it's funny. I had a friend earlier who said, any favorites for the Kentucky Derby on Facebook? And I responded with roller derby.
There you go.
Coastal Chaos. But back to what we're doing. It looks like we had a no pass, no penalty on Kiltrosity. And Lemonade in the pack, so no lead yet.
Lemonade does get lead. She'd do well to call it right this second. She's going to roll. No, she isn't. She's going to go ahead and call it, and smart play as BJ, coach for Short Points, is telling her, go, no, you got to call that one off. Rolled off some clock, but we still have a 1-point game, 152 to 151.
That's really amazing. It's been like that the whole time almost.
Yes, absolutely edge of your seat.
Yeah, that's great.
Fantastic gameplay. Oh, and something I just want to bring up, too. If you're looking for more, yes, there's more. At 7 p.m., we have Fredericksburg Roller Derby taking on the home host league, Rock Coast Rollers. So it's, I believe, the perfect storm. So stay tuned for that, and it is Malice Paul jamming, taking lead for Mass Attack up against Mego.
Well, and the great thing about that, if you're a Mass Attack fan, is they did it with 3 blockers against 4 for Short Points. Now the penalty situation has changed a little bit. Mego gets through. Malice Paul going to call it off. Another scoreless jam, but that's kind of a win for Mass Attack as they neutralize number 17, the captain of Short Points, Mego, who has so many points for Short Points.
Indeed. And coming up, let's see, we have number 2, Miranda Slambert. I believe first time with the star in this game.
First jam for Miranda Slambert for Short Points. Carnage Patch Kid, a veteran jammer in this contest for Mass Attack. Here we go. Light pack advantage for Short Points, but we have lead jammer Carnage Patch Kid.
Indeed, and not only was that lead jam, it's turned into a power jam for Mass Attack All-Stars because Miranda Slambert picked up a cutting the track penalty. So she'll take a little rest, but she'll be back. And it is Carnage Patch Kid getting by, throwing 5 in the sky.
That's a quick 5. There's 11:25 left right now. Only skater in the penalty box is Miranda Slambert right now. And Short Points has to try to hold off Carnage Patch Kid. They can't really afford to let this one get, out of hand. Although, I say that, and they've come back from a 20-point deficit already in this period. Carnage Patch Kid puts Mass Attack up by 11.
And Miranda Slamber met with a wall of Death by Sugar, Malice Paul, Dorcas Maximus, and Havana Heartbreak. It looks like we have Death by Sugar off to the penalty box. Wondering what number that is. I know her penalty count was a little high. We'll get an update on that.
Well, Carnage Patch Kid just continues to roll for Mass Attack. This is a huge jam. She's got 14 already and is looking for more. The ladies in red are going to the penalty box in an alarming rate, but Miranda Slamber just having difficulty with Dorcas Maximus now, the blocker, the soul blocker, who's now going to sit down. She's in the queue. Finally, Miranda Slamber able to make it through, but my goodness, Carnage Patch Kid just, and now she's going to go to the penalty box. The call is a back block on Carnage Patch Kid. Miranda Slamber is going to pick up 3 points. She's also probably glad she's going to be able to take the star off her helmet.
Yes. And Dorcas Maximus making her coach aware that she is going to the penalty box or that she was in the queue. It appears there's room for her now as Havana Heartbreak is standing. So that leaves Bombshell Shock as the lonely Mass Attack blocker for the moment.
Well, if you were the Shore Points coach, who would you put on the line for this
Mego.
situation? Yeah. Well, and she is indeed lead jammer. Here come the cavalry for Mass Attack, but Mego's already got 5. We'll see how many more she can get right now. Carnage Patch Kid went to the box with the star in her hand, so she has to resume play with the star in her hand.
Indeed. So a little stash action out of the penalty box, but that's okay. That star's going right back on.
Here comes Mego. She's got 15 right now as it's just a 7-point game. Carnage Patch Kid on a scoring pass, and the immediate impact with Shore Points. Mego taking the outside line. That's going to be 4 more for Shore Points. Mego lead jammer. She's got 4. Carnage Patch Kid's got 4. Mego looking outside. Big pile up now. And going down hard is Dorcas Maximus, but she's going to be okay. Mego checking her out, waiting for the final tally right now. Currently a 5-point difference.
Wow.
Mass Attack 180, 175 for Shore Points. Time winding down, 7:53 left, Banshee.
Indeed. And that was a little bit of a jersey-on-jersey collision between Dorcas Maximus and Mego, because Dorcas hails from Bayonne, New Jersey.
Well, it stands to reason. One more point was put on. Now it's a 4-point game, but Kiltrosity out of the gate picks up lead jammer for Mass Attack. Lemonade trying to track her down.
Indeed. So we see a lot of action in the pack. Shore Point's really trying to break up that Mass Attack defense, but not before Kiltrosity calls it.
Okay, 2-1 on that jam. Kiltrosity picking up 1, and so here we go. Oh my goodness! Really fast-paced action these
Indeed.
last couple of jams.
We have 182 Mass Attack, 177 Shore Points, 7 minutes left on the clock. That's going to be Havana Heartbreak taking on 333 Kelly. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong roster. 333 JJ Mayday back on the track.
Well, currently it's 5-on-5
Yes.
in the pack. That's the way you want it in the final minutes of the game. You hate to see a game decided on penalties. But, hey, penalties are part of the game, obviously. Especially you got two teams that are so evenly matched, and they're duking it out.
Absolutely.
There is so much. Honestly, these teams are so evenly matched that no matter who wins, their rankings may not be affected.
Correct.
At any great degree. But nobody wants to lose their first game at a tournament like this.
No. They are putting it all out on the track. And it appears we're actually starting, it's a power start on behalf of Shore Points. Kiltrosity is sitting as jammer for Mass Attack.
There was a cutting the track penalty assessed. That's what Peaches has relayed to me right now.
Well, thank you, Peaches.
Big break for Shore Points, 4-on-4 in the pack. Right now the ladies in red are going to have to really D up. Of course, the officials are still making sure that everything is as should be. They seem to be gathered around the whiteboard, which is not too surprising right now. There you see that sportswomanship right there, though, right, Jen? I mean, these gals, they're in a pitched battle with 5 points separating them, and they're having a nice conversation.
Yeah, they're shaking hands and smiling. I mean, it really is. After one of those jams, I was really impressed with the smiles at each other, opposing teams. That's fantastic.
I think that it really speaks to their on-bench attitudes, positive mental attitude. That's a big thing. PMA, you hear that a lot, possibly cheered from the Mass Attack bench.
Yeah.
But it's clear that Shore Points also engages in PMA.
Yeah.
And expulsion is a foul out appears to be the fate of number 83 for Mass Attack.
Okay, so let's take a look at that. I don't believe. No.
I actually think that was the next team.
Oh.
In red as well.
My bad. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay, because when you pointed at it, I'm like, oh my.
Fredericksburg is roaming around the venue in their red.
Yeah, there
so
she is.
Not to worry.
I saw the officials standing
okay.
around the whiteboard like that, and I thought, they want to get rid of somebody. No, but
well, I don't have.
They've got a chip on their shoulder. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I don't have my binoculars, but from here it does look like there is some really close penalties.
Yes.
Coming up on the 7.
We do. We have some very close. But right now, the only skater in the penalty box for Mass Attack and for any team right now is Kiltrosity. So JJ Mayday really doing what she can to power through the Mass Attack defense. But Mass Attack going to hold her as long as possible.
Well, and they're doing a really good job of passing her from blocker to blocker. Finally, she fights through, and this is what Shore Points wants. They've got a Death by Sugar caught in the back of the pack, and they're going to hold her there. Okay, taking off the star, re-entering play is Kiltrosity, forcing the front of the action now. JJ Mayday, she is in scoring position. Kiltrosity rolled into the pack.
And it appears there was a clockwise block assist. It appears to 21 on Shore Points. I'm sorry, I don't have a name on that roster, but also rest in peace off to the penalty box for Mass Attack.
Okay, it is tied right now, and JJ Mayday going to call it off. Kiltrosity sliding. JJ Mayday called it off just in time. Nothing on that final pass. 182 to 182.
I know. It is an amazing battle royale on this track before us. Tie game, 182 all. 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. Havana Heartbreak lined up against Mego.
Coastal Chaos means we've got action. 3-on-3 in the pack. Both of these speedy skaters going to have some room to maneuver.
A big hit on Havana Heartbreak, sending her to the infield, driving her to the rear of the pack. Mego gets lead. Havana still battling it out.
Oh, and Choo Choo Trainwreck thought she had a cut baited against Havana Heartbreak, but Havana Heartbreak very aware of what was going. Mego now going to play the percentages, call it off after getting 4. Shore Points takes the lead, 186 to 182.
I don't know. I don't know how much I can take this with all the caffeine I've had today, plus the lead changes. Oh,
I think this just goes to show what kind of weekend we're going to have.
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, both games have been like this. It's come down to the last under 5 minutes.
Indeed.
That's right,
And
4:33 right now. The penalty box is empty. We've got Lemonade for Shore Points against Carnage Patch Kid for Mass Attack.
Lemonade facing the wall of Enraging Grace, Stone Cold Killa, and Malice Paul, managing to go safe side to the out, but they managed to cycle to the front, doing their best to contain her.
Carnage Patch Kid on a scoring pass. Lemonade's got to catch up. In the back, lovely defense by Scarlet St. Marie. Here comes Lemonade from behind, picking up 5 points. Carnage Patch Kid finally threw for 4.
Yeah.
She is going to call it off. Oh my goodness, Short Points extending the lead on that jam.
By 9 points, 191 to 180. Oh, I'm sorry. It's only a 5-point lead, actually, 191 to 186.
Yeah, with the lead right there, but I tell you, really solid jamming by Short Points there to pick up something on the back end. The score has been adjusted now. It's a 4-point game. Short Points with 190. Mass Attack with 186. Mego back on the track for Short Points. Oh, and we got a good old-fashioned foot race between Mego and Dorcas Maximus.
Indeed, and this pack is picking up speed. Mass Attack All-Stars really trying to maintain that front and that speed in order to cap and contain Mego. It is a big hit to Mego on the inside, forcing the call off. Let's see if any points were picked up.
Oh, Mego gets one.
Only one.
You got to call that a win.
That
if you're Mass Attack right now at this point in the game, now somebody's going to want to stop the clock. It is continuing to roll right now, 2:37 and running. Lemonade going to wear the star for Short Points. Short Points with the 5-point lead. Havana Heartbreak back on the line for Mass Attack. Mass Attack with a 4-3 pack advantage at the start of this jam.
Let's see what Havana Heartbreak does with it. She's really pushing hard on that defense from Short Points up front, and it appears that she will evade that booty block.
Malice Paul with gorgeous defense, rolling back Lemonade to the start line, and Havana Heartbreak has a chance to tie this game. She jumps the apex. She's called for a cut. She has called for a cut.
And this is huge for Lemonade and Short Points. It's just not enough at the front of the pack with that speed in order to really contain her.
Well, that's an initial right now. Short Points is hemorrhaging blockers. Right now, Mass Attack has to really batten down the hatches on defense. Lemonade can't stop the action.
Lemonade taken to the infield and cycled back. We do have Malice Paul and Eradicator back there doing their best to hold her.
It's an 11-point difference between the period clock and the game clock, the jam clock and the game clock right now. And both jammers back on the track. Lemonade pushing the front of the pack. She's putting up 5. Back on the track is Havana Heartbreak. She is going to get 4, and 38 seconds left on the jam clock. Lemonade hits into Malice Paul. Everybody's going down.
It was like a bowling ball. They all went down like the pins.
They want this. Everybody wants this. What a stand-up block. Oh, my goodness.
In the words of Miley Cyrus, they came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh, my goodness. And going down is Lemonade. She caught one in the nose. She's holding her face. She's talking with her teammate right now, Miranda Slambert. She's going to be able to get up. What a performance by Lemonade right now. That's about the only way that jam was going to be stopped, was hardcore action like that. It is now a 6-point game still. Mass Attack with 193. Short Points with 199. The clock has stopped with 37 seconds. Time out called by Short Points.
And Oma Jin, what do we have? Did you have the bracket update or a replay?
I grabbed a replay of the bowling pin.
Yes.
And everybody just...
Seriously, the bowling pins all fell. But they were skaters.
They were. I mean, but you were right. That's exactly what it looks like.
Amazing.
Boom, there they go.
It's crazy how that happens sometimes. It's not one particular person's
That's
fault.
right. No.
No, and
The earth moves.
Yes, and then everybody spills. I've been a part of it.
And the game situation was such that, it was like ours goes to 11. Everybody was pushing so hard. I mean, there's not anybody in this arena who doesn't know what's on the line right here.
Exactly.
And,
It was intense. I mean, the intense, you could feel it too.
Exactly. This game has been turned up to 1,000. Never mind 100.
Okay, Peaches is going to come over right now to give us an update as Mass Attack has called for a timeout right now. Okay,
Well,
everything is pretty much under control. We got 37 seconds left in this one, Banshee, and we got Dorcas Maximus versus Mego, and it's a 3-2 pack in favor of Shore Points.
Indeed, and Raging Grace and Malice Paul out there for Mass Attack up against that line of Shore Point blockers. I can't identify everybody right now, but it appears that Mego is met with that 2-wall, and it is Dorcas Maximus taking lead jam for Mass Attack. Mego doing her best to catch up to Dorkface and nail her, but she is doing her best to get through that pack and pick up a few points.
Dorcas Maximus tries to shoot the inside. She's called off for a cut. And Mego, with 5 points in the sky, looks to be the one to beat. Unfortunately, she can't call this off.
And she transitions backward around the Mass Attack defense, bringing Shore Points up over 200 points.
Amazing. Short, whatever this final score of this one is, the gameplay is going to reflect a much closer play. Here we go. Mego trying to negotiate the Mass Attack defense. Malice Paul holding her off. Power Jam is over. 49 seconds left in the game. Dorcas Maximus on the outside. She gets 4. Mego has this in her back pocket. All she's got to do is not commit a foul at this point.
And right now it looks like Mass Attack trying to regroup at the front and detain Mego. She is swept out by Malice Paul, but Malice Paul follows. So we have a 3-wall up front. Well, we did. Now it's a 2-wall of Enraging Grace and Pixie Sticks. Malice Paul getting in the mix, and Dorcas able to get around on the outside while the others distract Mego.
Okay, 12 seconds left. Can she do it? She needs 8. Dorcas Maximus has head of steam. Mego is getting a lot of hard action from Mass Attack. 4 more.
So close. This
oh
is
my
amazing.
goodness.
This is amazing. We will have the official word on the final score for you shortly, but we can't even. If we didn't have all this fantastic sound equipment that belonged to Nerd Derby on the table, I'm pretty sure we would have flipped it. Poda Teresa
Thank you for
Giudis.
not.
No, we wouldn't do that. But seriously, we also almost had some Real Housewives of New Jersey happening here.
Unofficial final has it as an 8-point game.
Wow.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my
Well,
Jen.
you see Dorcas Maximus there with her team, and she, you could not have put forth any more effort in a final jam
Absolutely.
than Dorcas Maximus did.
The thing about Dork is that she just puts it all out, especially when it comes down to those last couple of jams. Just everything she has is put into it, and everything was put out there by both teams. Just absolutely amazing. Official final score, 219 points to 211 in favor of Shore Points Roller Derby to Mass Attack All-Stars.
Well, Shore Points
Well played,
Shore Points coming in at the 4th seed. They are going to move on. We're going to take a look at the brackets in a little bit. Mass Attack at the 5th seed. I mean, they had their time in the lead of this game. Both teams had some stumbles. Both teams had some great runs. And the way it worked out, Shore Points had the great run at the end, and it was just enough to pull it out.
Just enough. And you know what? There's no other way to describe what we just saw other than saying it is absolutely fabulous. Just amazing.
Well, it was real.
Yes.
It was strong.
Yes.
It was athletic.
It was WFTDA. So make sure you stay tuned. We will be back at 7 p.m. with Fredericksburg versus Rock Coast Rollers. My name's Beautiful Banshee.
And I'm Gretchen. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Mass Attack versus Shore Points Roller Derby at the 2016 Coastal Chaos Tournament, presented by the Rock Coast Rollers and brought to your screen by New England Roller Derby Reports and WFTDA.TV. Again, next up at 7 o'clock, Rock Coast Rollers versus the Fredericksburg All-Stars.